Good morning, guys. How are you today? Hope you're fine. Don't worry, you don't have to turn on your computer. Just focus on what I'm going to project, okay? So don't worry. I hope everybody is wearing his or her uniform, okay? So remember, that's one of the requirements when we are having, when you are taking this virtual class, okay? So let's begin. Let's, okay, I have a video, a first video for you, and I have another one for you today. Okay, compare one and motivation while the other guys are arriving at the class. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Okay, this. Okay.
What if this light bulb was the cure to racism, sexism, and classism? Hear me out. Do you know what people and light bulbs have in common? We both express as different colors, have different shapes, different sizes. We're manufactured in different places. Some of us are bright, some dim, some clear, and some broken. We appear to be very different on the outside. But the thing about these lights is, there is one current running through each bulb. And in the same way, there is a singular energy running through each person on this planet. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter your race, gender, nationality, that's just the bulb. Inside of all that is who you really are. Energy. Don't believe your energy? Well, riddle me this. Say you have a friend named Jim, and you've been visiting Jim in the hospital, until one day Jim unfortunately dies on the operating table. You say, oh no, Jim died. But his body is still there, his race, his gender. But you say Jim died? Because you know deep down that Jim was a lot more than his body. He was the intelligent energy that gave life to his body. Energy is what we are. And energy has no color. It is not Republican nor Democrat, white or black. Energy is not Christian, Muslim, or atheist. Energy is. We are intelligent, creative, universal energy. And if we understood that, then we would finally know what wise men and women have been trying to tell us since the dawn of time, that we are one.
I think that makes sense. We are spiritual in a human body because, like they say, when we die, our spirit goes somewhere to another place. So try to be a very, very special spirits in this world. Okay, guys, now as an introduction for this class today, we start already the PPC model. Remember, production possibility curve or production possibility frontier or production possibility border. And maybe you don't remind it already. Anyway, I'm going to play this video, very funny video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll try to clarify your doubts regarding this topic. So please pay attention, guys, pay attention.
Hey, how you doing, Econ students? This is Mr. Clifford. Welcome to ACDC Econ. Right now, you're learning about the first graph in this class. It's called the Production Possibilities Curve. The Production Possibilities Curve presents potential prospects for the production of a pair of products. It's a pillar of the program, and pupils have to practice. This graph is totally important. First, we're going to start off with a table that shows the production possibilities of two goods. In this case, videos and hats. And this example is actually for me. If I quit teaching, I spent all my time, I could make hats, right? Using this loom, hats that look like this. Basically, you wrap the yarn around this and it can wrap around itself and the hat kind of grows out from the bottom. You kind of tie it off to the end. As you can see from the chart, if I spent all my time working on hats, I could produce 30 hats in a week. Yo, what's up, bro? If I spent all my time and resources making econ videos, I could make 4 videos. But as you can see, I wouldn't be able to make any hats. So this chart shows my production possibilities. It shows me the different combinations of hats and videos that I could make using all of my resources. To get the graph, we just have to plot these points, and that's going to give us a graph that looks like this. This is the production possibilities curve, or sometimes called the production possibilities frontier. The best part about this graph is the fact that it shows all the key concepts that you've been learning so far. It's going to show scarcity, trade-offs, opportunity costs, and efficiency. It shows the idea of scarcity because it shows that I cannot produce anywhere beyond the curve. So the curve, or the frontier, shows the idea that I have limited resources. The graph shows trade-offs because if I decide to start producing videos, I have to give up hats. Or if I produce hats, I have to give up videos. Opportunity cost is shown by the specific number of hats I give up when I make a video. For example, when I move from combination A to combination B, I'm producing more videos, but I'm also losing hats. The number of hats I lost is the opportunity cost. In this case, producing the first video cost me 1 hat. This graph shows efficiency because if I'm producing a point right here where I'm producing only 2 videos and 5 hats, I am inefficient. This is because I'm not using all of my resources to the fullest. I'm not somewhere on the actual curve. So any combination inside the curve is inefficient because I could produce there, but I don't want to. I can produce more of both goods. That means that the line itself must be the idea of efficiency. If I'm producing any one of these combinations, I'm using all my resources to the fullest. And again, a point here outside the curve is impossible because I don't have enough resources to get there. But the curve can shift, but wait for it, that comes later. Right now it's time for you to practice calculating opportunity cost. So I want you to use the table and figure out the opportunity cost from each one of these. So calculate the opportunity cost from A to D, to B to C, from E to D, and from C to A. Remember, opportunity cost is what we're giving up, and so look for the thing that we're losing. Don't forget to clarify if I'm giving up hats or if I'm giving up videos. The opportunity cost from A to D is 15 hats. Notice, from combination A, we're producing 0 videos and 30 hats. Now, when we go over here to D, we're going to have 3 videos and we're going to have 15 hats. That means we lost 15 hats. That's the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost from combination B to C is 4 hats. The opportunity cost from E to D is 1 video. And the opportunity cost from combination C to combination A is 2 videos. Now, it's super important to be able to calculate opportunity cost, but we're not done. Let's do different examples. So in this case, let's do corn and wheat, and let's do cactus and pineapple. It turns out that the shape of the curve is very important. So this top one shows a constant opportunity cost between corn and wheat. This is because the resources to produce corn and wheat, the ground, the climate, are very similar. So when you produce a certain amount of wheat, you give up a certain amount of corn. And when you produce that same amount of wheat, you give up the same amount of corn. That shows constant opportunity cost. But down here, when it comes to cactus and pineapples, when you produce the very first pineapple, you give up just a little bit of cactus. When you produce the next pineapple, you give up even more, the next one even more, and the last one, a whole lot of cactus you give up. This is called increasing opportunity cost. It's because the resources, the land and climate to produce pineapples and cactus are completely different. But the plural of cactuses is cacti. Cacti! 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 So when we first start producing pineapples, we're going to give up just a little bit of cacti. This is because we're going to use the land that's more suited towards pineapples, and it's not very good at producing cacti, and so we're going to lose a little bit of cacti and get a good amount of pineapples. Now, as we keep doing that over and over again, we're going to give up more and more cacti. This is because we're using resources that are less and less suited towards pineapples, until finally, right here, we're producing just a little bit more pineapples, but giving up a whole lot of cacti. Cacti! And this is the idea of the law of increasing opportunity cost. The law says as you produce anything, the opportunity cost to produce it is going to get bigger and bigger. And that explains the shape of the graph. Remember, a straight line production possibilities curve like this shows constant opportunity cost, and a bowed out curve shows the idea of increasing opportunity cost. Now, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, and you can learn more about the production possibilities curve and how it shifts by clicking on this video, or you can go look at Unit 1 videos by clicking right here. Now, make sure to come back to the channel because I'm making a ton of new videos this year, all right? Until next time.
Good. This guy, he really talks fast. But anyway, the same video I loaded up already in your platform. So if you couldn't pick up all the information on all the new terms that he used, like constant opportunity cost or increasing opportunity cost, the rest, I think we are aware or we are familiar already with opportunity cost and trade-off, things like that, terms like that, not things like that. So already you have it here in your platform, as you see. Let me show you here. This link, the PDF is the document that you need to review. Let me see. No, this one, I think. Yeah, this is the document I sent you with all the information class, okay? It's already in your platform. So you have to print it in order to study for your eventual tests, okay? Over there, all of them. I mean, sorry, I think you have your book, sorry. The thing is, anyway, I send you, if in case you don't have the book, I send you the information, okay? So don't worry. And also I load up, this is another document that could help you out to try to understand what we are dealing with right now, okay? So you have enough information, document to clarify your doubts regarding production possibility curve. Okay, let's go back to the last section where we were discussing last week, and I remember I have some technical difficulties. Okay, remember this. This is a production possibility curve related to a loaf of bread and muffins. Over here is the table with all the information is almost the same like in the video. They compare videos with hats. So the same thing here. Let me over here. Production possibility curve. Yes. Loaf of bread. I think we did that already. Let me see. Opportunity cost, muffins. Further, show the opportunity cost of each choice in virtual way. Trace the curve. Okay, have that already over here. Now, over here there are some questions that could help you out to analyze this production possibility curve. It says if you decide to make 10 loaves of bread, how many brown muffins could you make? If you over here said if you decide to make 10 bread, it means that you'll be able to make only 35 loaves of bread. Now, the other question, what is the opportunity cost? What you cannot get, what you're losing. Remember, opportunity cost of making 10 loaves of bread. The opportunity of 10 loaves of bread is 35. You're losing 35. Opportunity cost that your 10 loaf of bread is that you are missing two loaves of bread. That's the opportunity cost. If you are only getting 10 loaf of bread, you are losing 10. You are losing 2 loaves of bread. Okay. Now over here, now the same thing that is done here. Remember, I think, this was the last one. Now we talk about these lines or this possibility curve. They call it also a border or frontier. That it says over here, and I think that was the last slides we discussed last week. And explaining why is how the governments or even the small scales economics or business, they use it in order to make decisions of how, because as I always says, all the resources are limited. Okay, so with this information, they did this graphic. Okay, this graph. With this information, they did this graphic, and then remember, over here I haven't touched that topic. I'm gonna explain it in a few minutes. Okay, so over here I load up already this same in the same place where I just show you where are the videos and all the information about this topic. Now I load up the same PowerPoint, this one, and over here I send you an assignment. That That is for next class. Okay, this is your assignment for next class. It's the same thing. Now over here they are comparing cupcakes and robots. Over here, see, the same thing that is here is the same that is over here. It's the same thing like this one. So you have to design this possibility, production possibility frontier. You have to design it according with all this information, and they ask you 3 questions. It says draw and label each axis and each point. Put cupcakes on Y. So it means that the Y is the vertical. La vertical is the Y. So the cupcakes goes over here and the robots goes on the X. Okay. Indicates on the graphic with point K where is inefficient. So inefficient is in this area. Why? Because they are not using all the resources needed in order to produce all they are capable to do it. So in this area is the inefficient. Okay, so you have to write over here that letter. And it says indicate on graphic with point L where inattainable is this area where the producer or the one who is creating these muffins and bread, they are not able to go further this line. So this one is unattainable, que no se puede obtener. Why? Because they don't have enough resource in order to make or goes from this frontier to this frontier or this area. They cannot. Why? Because they need because of this information, because in order to control this model, we have to assume this. But in real life, if you can make more, then you have to invest in your factory, or maybe you have to get more people in order to increase, and also you have to need more resources in order to increase the production, and goes from this frontier and make it farther to this frontier, maybe. Okay, so the same thing you have to do it here, guys. You don't have to move the line. You only have to draw these lines using this coordination, these points. I don't know how do you say in Spanish. I mean, sorry, in math you use this. So you only have to put all this in a graphics and then connect it with a line. Okay, so and you're gonna get something more or less like that. Okay, more or less, not necessary. Okay, that's your assignment for next class. Okay, now let's move on. It says, so what we learn from PPC, from production possibility curve or frontier or border. One important concept revealed in a PPC is efficiency. The condition in which economic resources are being used to produce the maximum amount of good and service. Okay, what we just saw on this line, this is efficient. Over here, this line, the frontier is the efficient. That's what it shows. Okay, another is underutilization. Underutilization, like in Spanish, is subutilizado. Subutilizado, it means that you are not, the resource is not used in a proper way, not in an efficient way. Okay. Another is underutilization, the condition in which economic resources are not being used to their full potential. As a result, fewer goods and services are being produced than the economy is capable to make. Example, efficiency and underutilization. Now over here, now we are gonna use another chart, figure 1.5 in the book. Shows a classic production possibility model of guns and butter. In this model, guns is shorthand for military spend, and butter represent consumer production. and they use this term. This is like an idiom. They use it in economics, that you have to decide whether to use the money in order to buy weapons or army, or to invest it in the army in your country, or it's better to use all the budget in order to buy or to improve the production in a country. So that sometimes is a conflict. For instance, the United States, they invest a lot of money in order to buy different kind of weapons for war, or they invested in the army, and they should invest it. Well, they use it because they want to protect their frontiers, right? So that's why they sometimes they use it, but not necessary. So that is the conflict between how to invest the budget, either using to invest it in military things or in goods or services in your country. Okay, so that's the deal. Okay, now over here, this is the example over here. Now we have only 2 minutes left. Then next class we'll continue and we'll try to wrap it up. This topic about production possibility curve. Okay, guys. As I always said, sometimes it's like a headache sometimes, but as I said, you need to read it 1, 2, 3 times in order to try to be familiar with the information about economics. Economics is a wonderful subject, like mathematics, all things. So that depends on you to understand all the terms, and always, if you are planning to be an entrepreneur or have your own business, then you need to know all these terms or all these, how the economics works. Now, guys, please, I need you to turn on your camera because I need to take a picture of the ones who are here, please. Yes, you need a haircut. You need a haircut, Hughes.